How to learn piano and organ chords in 1 minute. Chords are the building blocks of music, but there are hundreds of possible chord combinations available. One look at a chord dictionary for piano and organ can be overwhelming. You might think it would take a lifetime to learn how to play all the chords you'll find. The trick to learning chords quickly is to learn how to build them. By learning how chords are structured, you can play any chord anywhere on the piano or organ quickly, without worrying about memorizing huge chord dictionaries. Here's how you can be building piano and organ chords in the time it takes you to read this article. 1. Familiarize yourself with the major scales. You can purchase a basic scale chart from a music store or find one online at no cost. See resources. Chords are built from the major scale. A simple major triad, chord with 3 notes, is made up of the first, third and fifth notes of the major scale with the same name as the chord you want to make. If you want a C major chord, refer to a C major scale. The notes of the scale are C, D, E, F, G, A and B. The first note in the scale is a C, the third in the scale is an E, and the fifth in the scale is a G. This means you need a C, E and G to make a C major chord. You can now make any major chord in any key by applying this pattern to the scale with the same name as the major chord you want to make. 2. Make a minor chord like you would make a major chord, with one exception. The third note of the scale is flat. A C minor chord contains the first, flat third, and fifth notes of the scale with the same name as the chord you want to make. The notes in a C minor chord are C, E flat and G again. Applying this pattern in any major key will allow you to play a simple minor triad. The notes of a G major scale are G, A, B, C, D, E and F. The first, third, and fifth notes of the scale are G, B and D. Those notes make up a G major chord. Play a B flat and you have a G minor chord. 3. Build a 7th chord by constructing a major chord and adding the 7th degree of the scale with the same name as the chord you want to make. A 7th chord is notated like this, C7. A C major chord contains the notes C, E and G. The 7th note of a C major scale is B. Add that to your C triad and you have a C7 chord. 4. Build a C9 chord by adding the 9th note of the scale, which is really the 2nd note in the scale. Since there are only 7 notes in a major scale, 8 if you count the octave, the 2nd note of the scale acts as the 9th because when you reach the end of the scale, you continue counting by going back to the beginning of the scale. If you play a C scale with the note C, D, E, F, G, A, B and the octave C, this gives you 8 notes. Continue counting up from the beginning of the scale, ignoring the first note C, the 2nd note in the scale is D, which acts as the 9th note. Add a D to a C7 chord and you have a C9 chord. This works in every key. 5. Play a suspended chord, written as sus4, by getting rid of the 3rd note in a scale and adding the 4th note. A C major chord is C, E and G. Get rid of E, which is the 3rd note of the C major scale and replace it with the 4th note of the C major scale, which is F. A sus4 chord contains the notes C, F and G. It works for any suspended chord in any key. 6. Use this information to build these chords in any key. You can now build these chords, and any other chord, by selecting the note degrees of the scale needed and playing them. Consider keeping a basic chord theory book at your side, or use a free online guide, until you feel completely comfortable with the system. Also, practice building chords in every major key. The more you practice, the better you will get at constructing chords and playing them anywhere on your piano or organ.